Hey, everybody, welcome to N.O.N Screen. I'm Lucifer. Before Godzilla and Gamera, there was King Kong. The Kong is the inspiration for numerous films, video games, and even amusement park rides. Sometimes characterized as a misunderstood anti-hero and other times brutal beast, King Kong represents humanity's tense relationship with the natural world and its unknown marvels. As the humans around King Kong try their best to control him, abuse him, and profit off him, all the towering gorilla wants is to be left alone. All of the King Kong movies, in order, paint an interesting picture of an ever-changing cinematic landscape that's always welcoming to lovable monsters. King Kong left his mark on Hollywood, and the misunderstood ape has starred in many films. Here are all the King Kong movies, in order. RKO Pictures. King Kong, 1933. The eighth wonder of the world was first introduced to audiences in 1933's King Kong, co-directed by Marion C. Cooper and Ernest B. Schoedsack. In the original King Kong, a film crew led by director Carl Denham travels to Skull Island, a remote locale close to Indonesia, where they discover the titular gargantuan ape. Instead of respecting their discovery's autonomy, the humans kidnap Kong and bring him back to New York, where the perplexed monkey clashes with his captors and becomes smitten with a young actor named N.O.N, culminating in a tragic finale. Part of this film have aged well, but there's no denying it's a pivotal moment for visual effects. Its influence still felt in everything from monster movies to horror franchises to big-budget blockbusters. Son of Kong, 1933. Son of Kong quickly followed suit after the success of its predecessor. The movie picks up 1 month after the events of the first film, as director Carl Denham returns to Skull Island in search of treasure. Instead, he and his fellow adventurers find a giant albino gorilla believed to be Kong's son, as well as a panoply of other bizarre and oversized creatures. This film hard left turns into one of the most soul-shattering endings of all time. Toho, Japan. King Kong vs. Godzilla, 1962. After a truly wild series of events, original Kong animator Willis O'Brien's pitch for King Kong vs. Frankenstein ended up at Toho and was reimagined as King Kong vs. Godzilla, which completely ignores the events of the original King Kong. Directed by original Goji Ishiro Honda, this historic monster mash features, among many other things, a scene in which Kong is dropped from the sky by a balloon contraption and immediately struck by lightning. Flawless cinema. Fans of both monsters have debated for ages whether the end of this film is ambivalent or crowns a real winner, so watching this movie is worth it for that decades-long argument alone. King Kong escapes, 1967. Instead, it would be a few more years until Toho brought Kong back, casting him in King Kong Escapes. Both this and King Kong vs. Godzilla are helmed by legendary director Ishiro Honda. In King Kong Escapes, Kong duels a robot designed by the evil Doctor Who. The robot is named Mechanai Kong and looks just like the ape. John Guillermin Films. King Kong, 1976. This remake of the 1933 King Kong movies updates the story for 1970s audiences. Instead of a film crew, it's an oil company that disturbs Kong's peaceful existence and brings him to New York City. Jeff Bridges plays primate paleontologist Jack Prescott, and Jessica Lange co-stars as this edition's damsel in distress, the blonde and beautiful Dwan. Despite mixed reviews, it was a big hit on release. King Kong Lives, 1986. A decade later, King Kong director John Guillermin released the sequel King Kong Lives. Instead of dying at the end of the film, falling from the Twin Towers in New York City causes Kong to spend 10 years in a coma. When a female ape is brought in to give him a blood transfusion, Kong stirs from his slumber and rampages through Manhattan with his new mate. Peter Jackson film, King Kong, 2005. Kong gets the contemporary, big-budget treatment in Peter Jackson's epic King Kong. Considered a second remake of the 1933 movie, it stars Naomi Watts as Ann Darrow and Jack Black as Carl Denham. Set during the 1930s, King Kong employs dazzling special effects and dramatic action sequences to keep audiences engrossed, and it's earned its place amongst the most beloved of the King Kong movies. Jackson's film never got a sequel, but at one point there were plans for a follow-up to be helmed by eventual Godzilla vs. Kong director Adam Wingard. Warner Bros. Monsterverse. Kong, Skull Island. 2017. The Warner Bros. Monsterverse, which kicked off in 2014 with Gareth Edwards' Godzilla, set Kong on an alternate path, one where he never gets shipped off to Manhattan and instead lives, the last of his kind, as the benevolent titan of Skull Island. Jordan Vogt Roberts takes place in 1973, introducing both monster research agency Monarch and a relatively young Kong, as he tangos with a squad of Vietnam vets led by Colonel Preston Packard. Samuel L. Jackson. Godzilla vs. Kong, 2021. Director Adam Wingard's much-anticipated contribution to the MonsterVerse definitely delivers. Wingard's colossal monster brawl takes place 51 years after Kong, Skull Island. Boasting some of the most stunning visuals yet in the franchise, Godzilla vs. Kong cares much less about human character development than it does about giving audiences a good old-fashioned monster movie that employs cutting-edge CGI technology. This film is also a sequel to Godzilla, 2014, and Godzilla, King of the Monsters. The film wowed audiences and critics alike, topping box offices while receiving very favorable reviews. Well, that's it for today, guys. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and if it's your first time here, please subscribe and smash that bell for N.O.N. Screen. I'm Lucifer.